So, oops. I've had to, hold on, I gotta fix my, I've had to move Piggy in here because she's very, very, very sick. And we don't know what's wrong with her, and we can't afford to take her to the vet. So I am doing my damnedest to take care of her and watch her. And I feel really, really poor. I think she's definitely fighting. She's, I'm sorry, it's really hard to watch one of my animals be sick like this and me not be able to do anything about it. I've had to start hand feeding her with a baby medicine syringe. She is showing signs of improvement because she actually is starting to squeak now when I pick her up and pet her. Whereas yesterday and last night she was doing neither. She wasn't squeaking. She's feeling mighty poorly now. It's really sad for me. It's really sad. We lost one of our cats last year. Go ahead, Piggy. Keep fighting, baby. Keep fighting, honey. I'm going to hand feed her again here in a little bit. Sorry, I'm really tired. I've been taking care of her and cleaning all day. See? See? My couch is still a mess though. But that's because I spend 90% of my time sitting right here. Anyway, when the girls were down at the in-laws last year, the last week they were there, actually, yeah, Liam, who is the father of King and Oscar, got out. And I don't know what happened to him. I just know that a week and a half or so after he got out, he came back, but he was very sick. Lilia found him and she said, "Mommy, Liam's downstairs behind one of the trash cans." So I ran downstairs. She's like, "But he's not coming to me." So I ran downstairs and I looked at him and he was not doing well. I looked at him and he had maggots all over him. So I ran up and got a towel and ran back down and picked him up and brought him upstairs and was washing him off, trying to get all the maggots off of him. And he died in my hands. Sorry. It's really tough to lose an animal, especially when they don't know. Spunky, get off the table! What's wrong with them? Or they get out and they eat something that they're not supposed to eat. Or something along those lines. But Piggy didn't eat anything out of the ordinary. What's right there is what we feed her. Timothy bites, yogurt chips, guinea pig diet, and even more Timothy hay. This is ultra. It's got sweet potatoes in it for extra vitamin C. And as you can see, my poor girl, she doesn't even run when you try to pick her up. Hi, baby. Come here. Come here, baby. Yeah. 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 See, I'm very, very sick. And my mommy and my mommy and my friends can't take me to the vet because it's too expensive. And she's blending into my pants. But I'm fighting. I'm fighting a lot. It's a good sign that you're squeaking though, honey. She wasn't doing this at all earlier. Yeah. She wasn't doing it at all. And she's so... She doesn't... Shut up! Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, crap. No, it's crooked. Oh. There we go. Oh, yeah? Yeah? Are we fighting? I definitely think she's got the champion spirit in her. And she's definitely trying to fight. Yeah. Her one eye is kind of goopy. She's got no discharge from her nose. All the gook around her mouth is from me hand feeding her earlier. Yeah. I find it that she's kind of breathing a little hard. Yeah, yeah. 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 Poor thing. I've already had the talk with Julia because she's very bonded to Piggy. Yeah. Uh-huh. She's trembling. Yeah. Yeah. Here, baby. Oh. There you go. So, well, she hasn't eaten anything poisonous because she never leaves pretty much my sight when the girls are holding her. So I know they didn't feed anything to her and they wouldn't intentionally harm her. But poor thing. So you guys just pray for my Piggy, okay? I'm really upset. She's really sick and I can't do anything about it. You know, had she gotten sick before I had paid all my bills and stuff, I would have not paid something so that I could easily have taken her to the vet. But this is, aside from Liam getting out and possibly eating something poisonous or whatever and then dying, all of our animals have always been healthy. So this is the first experience that I've ever had to deal with a sick animal, and I just really don't know what to do because I can't take her to the vet. I feel so bad. It's pouring again. So, nothing's really going on. It's pouring out. Decided to do my makeup today because I wanted to feel pretty. Meh. So I just witnessed the sweetest thing ever. I was sitting on the floor with Piggy, just kind of petting her, giving her some love. And he walks up to her, looks at me, or walks up to her, sniffs her, looks up at me, and I said, Piggy's not feeling well. And he looked down at her and licked her, almost as if to say, don't worry, Piggy, Mommy will take care of you. That is just the sweetest. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. That's just the sweetest thing. He is such a sweet boy. Just thought I'd share. So we are, or I am, and the girls are observing how to make homemade Butterfinger bars.
That's part of it.
And here is the chocolate, the ooey gooey yummy chocolate.
Want to see the middle?
Yeah, well, I'll show them in a minute.
The middle is melted candy corn and a whole jar of peanut butter.
Yep, it's a pound. It's a pound of candy corn. And stop. Move.
Okay, I'm moving.
It's a whole 1 pound bag of candy corn.
Melted.
And 1 16-ounce container of peanut butter mixed together. And that's what it looks like. And it's in the refrigerator to cool. Because it is hot, because you have to melt the candy corn in the microwave for 3 minutes. And that's perfect time, like I thought, because my microwave is a little meh. But it was perfect. It was 3 minutes on the button, it was ready. So now I'm just waiting for that to cool. I think we put it in at like 3:30, so maybe like another hour or so. But by then I have to start making dinner, and I also have to take my girlfriend Ceci to go pick up her camera. So
it's gonna be a little complicated.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to start making dinner until
6.
Yeah, probably 6 o'clock tonight.
It's okay. It's our normal time anyway.
No, I normally start cooking at 5 and it's done at 6.
We used to start cooking at 6 and it'll be done like 6:30-ish.
Depending on what I was making. I'm making some kind of chicken breast something or other tonight. Lil, you got your hair real close to that fire. Do you want to lose all your hair? Because let me tell you something. Huh? Yes, I know it is. Okay. Walk away. Cannot have melting chocolate on a stove with children in the house. But yeah, so I got this recipe off of one of the other YouTubers. She's not a YTO, but I found her by accident, actually. I forget what I was actually doing, but I found her other channel. I think her other channel is a YTO. I mentioned her before, Vlogged a Lot Family, Mommy Vlogged a Lot, or whatever. And so I'm anxiously awaiting the stuff to get out so that I better just turn this off and let it cool for a few minutes, so that when the time comes, I can dip the stuff, dip the mixture in. So, Piggy's still sick. But, I mean, oh look, the sun! Holy shit, the sun is out! It's been pouring. No! Lilia! Because instead of going to one of the other 19 million windows that we have, she'll come in here and come on behind me, and it's a pain in the butt. Ow. But yeah, so that's what our lesson was today, how to make Butterfinger bars. And we did a couple worksheets and stuff too. So I'm not the traditional homeschooler. I don't have them sitting there studying from books 24/7 a day, 24/7. We do all kinds of lessons. There are days where I have them sit down and do book work, but it's not a book work day every single day. Like, I teach them stuff that they're going to need out in the real world, i.e., you know, how to hand wash dishes, or how to do laundry, or, you know, how to cook. You know what I mean? Like, this is all stuff that they're going to need later on in life when they're adults. Because had I not learned how to, had my mother not taught me, why am I doing this? I have hairspray. Had my mother not taught me how to do this stuff, when I left my boarding school, well, and my mother and the boarding school taught me a lot more than my mother did, but, my mother started teaching me how to cook, really, and how to do household chores when I was about 10. Changing the kitty litter box, you know, taking care of animals, cooking basic things. But, I mean, I really learned a lot of stuff at the boarding school that I went to. And even then, even though we were homeschooled there, we still learned, we still had days where we'd be down in school and Uncle Bob would call down the steps, "Girls!" Be like, "Yes." He'd be like, he'd be like, "How'd you like to go to the beach?" or something, and we'd be like, "Yeah!" We all ran upstairs and changed into our bathing suits, and off to the beach we'd go. So I remember that fondly, and I remember all kinds of fun things like that. And I remember one year for my birthday, I think it was my 17th birthday. It was either, yeah, it was my 17th. It was either my 17th or my 18th. I can't remember. But we all went down to Ocean City Boardwalk and rented bikes, and we rode bikes all the way down to the very end. And there was this donut shop that made the donuts, like, in the window, like, homemade, like, right there. And then they would powder them in either sugar or cinnamon sugar. Oh my God, they were so good. That was an awesome birthday for me, because it was a beautiful day. It was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous day. And then we just drove down to Ocean City and rode the bikes on the boardwalk and had basically homemade donuts. It was such a good birthday. Anyway, I digress. I learned so much as far as cooking at that school. I still make a lot of the meals that we learned how to make there. We had this one meal that they called it Bill Goddard food. I don't remember the exact story of how that name came up, but it's basically, I call it a green bean gravy. And my ex loved it, my girls love it. Basically what it is mashed potatoes. Doesn't matter if they're artificial, imitation, or Lilia Star, get out of the fridge. Oh, okay. She's getting a drink. But when I saw her in there earlier, she was touching. Uh-huh. See, she hit her face. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Anyway, it's mashed potatoes, and you take a can of tomato soup. I know this is going to sound so gross, but it's so good. You basically take mashed potatoes, you make those, you put them aside. And then you take one or two, depends on how many people are eating it, to the way that you make it. And when I learned how to make it, we used ground beef, but now I use ground turkey because it's better for you, and we don't eat beef.
And talk about the stuff with tomato soup, mashed potatoes, green beans, and turkey. That wasn't very good to me.
We haven't made it in a while. You might like it now because every time I see Julia, but anyway, yeah, Lilia isn't really fond of it, but
I'm not fond of
we need. Yeah, she's not fond of green beans or mashed potatoes. What child doesn't like mashed potatoes? But anyway, all right, go. I'm trying to vlog and you keep interrupting me. Go. So, you ground the meat, whether it's beef or a ground turkey, and then you mix it with the tomato soup. I know it sounds so weird and so gross, but it actually is really, really good. You take the tomato soup and you put it in the meat and you mix it out, and then you take green beans, whether it's the frozen green beans or the canned green beans. If you use the frozen, it tastes a lot fresher, but if you use the canned, get the French the really long stringy ones, because the texture is better or something. You mix the green beans, drain the juice if you're using canned, tomato soup and ground beef, and you mix it all together. And you put the mashed potatoes on your plate, and then you make a little pit, and you put some butter in it, and then you put the hot green bean gravy stuff over top of it, and then you eat it all together. Oh, it's so good. Cameron loved it. My ex loved it. Sometimes my girls love it. I like it. It's really filling though. Like, you may think, oh, okay, you know, it's mashed potatoes and it's this, that, and the other, but you don't have any idea. Like, you put some stuff on your plate, and you'll realize about halfway through halfway through your plate is empty. You'll be like, oh my god, I'm so full, I can't eat anymore. I always do that, and I know that, you know, Dave was always like that. He was like, oh my god, I'm so full, because I tried to say mashed potatoes and it came out potatoes. Oh my god. Mashed potatoes is filling. It's really, really filling, and you know, because it's a starch and it expands and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, I learned how to make that. There's another dish that I make that's again ground meat, peas and rice, and you just mix it all together. That's a good meal. Put a little bit of butter, some spices like salt, pepper, and some other stuff, and oh, it's so good. And again, filling because of the rice. And so yeah. I learned a lot of stuff as far as cooking and everything at the boarding school. So I find it really vital. Be right back. We've experienced a loss today. Raven, our guinea pig, she passed away around, I don't really know what time she passed away because we were actually out running errands. And when we came back, Julia discovered her. And
she said she was laying on her side and she looked like she was sleeping.
Yeah. Well, so ever since we put her in the box, and you know, I put some bags around it and everything, King hasn't left her side for 1 minute. That's her cage. That's what she's in. And he hasn't left her side.
And he even kissed her twice today.
I'm sorry. It's really sad to lose an animal, especially when you don't know why. But, you know, it's really sad. So, since my last mention about Piggy.
Daddy?
Yeah. She's passed away. So, Anyway, it's pretty late. It's almost 7:30, and I'm trying to make dinner for me and the girls because we came in around 20 after 5, and we're finishing making the Butterfinger bars, and the door was closed, and Julia discovered her about, I'd say about 5:30, 5:45, and we've been dealing with it ever since, so. Rest in peace, Piggy. You'll be missed.